Hello there, Hello there everyone, welcome back to some more Disco Elysium. In the last episode we did a bit of a longer one as we found the deserter and essentially got him to confess to all of the murders forever. Now we're going to try and improve our composure. If I can. So that I can talk to him about some, dead people, some friendly dead people, and say, what's going on with them, Chief? Okay. Still got 7 skill points to use if I need to.
The old man stares despondently at
I'd like to ask again about people we don't like.
Curls into a snare.
Logic first. Logic is the blue one. I've got lots of ways to get logic. Nice dinner jacket. Dun, 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 dun. I can get to logic like +5 or something. Yeah. The other ones also increase logic, but they are part of the same thing. So they tend to be just worse. Like the helmet, I get logic, but I've already got a helmet that gives me 2 logic, so it's just worse.
The old man stares.
I wonder what they think when I just change clothes right in front of them.
His lip curls into a snare.
What's the deal between him and Edgar?
The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
20 years ago when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they?
Hey.
A sputter from the old man.
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
Always listened suddenly with hatred, and then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
He squints and smiles at the black logs.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
You could swear you see the embers glow again under the eyes on the dust. Edgar, had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Joss?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in the river.
And why was that?
Because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
Say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. And the ruins.
It was you.
It was someone. Someone shot her.
His eyes grow cold suddenly.
Or maybe she just fell. I get these violent ideations. My memory is filled with holes, especially the 30s. All I know is nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal.
I sputter again, nothing more.
If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk.
The lieutenant says in a voice even calmer, as if it were nothing at all.
We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
Okay then, that's that. but I know.
All you know is I saw it happen, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Her plump body, bobbing up and down in that canal like a cork. That chick yellow bag still on her, strangling her.
Cold black coals look at the canal, then at you. Blink.
The same old freezing hatred.
I'm glad we talked about this. Now.
Glad we talked about what?
Another erratic gesture. He's trembling. Like composure. Composure, composure, composure. I've got something that lowers composure right now, don't I? That must be what it is. Nope. Just unequipped something that gave me composure. Glad we talked about what, you little fuck. Sorry, okay, I'm sorry. My blue jacket of justice and truth. That's what it is.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there.
Let's try and assess his body language.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it.
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
Yosef Lilianovich Joss, you're under arrest for the murder of Ellis Courtanier.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
the sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
Nothing.
Do you understand?
But...
Him. Do you understand, sir?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Okay. Perception. We'll give this a go. 17%. I mean, I could go all the way deep, but it's not going to help me. I'll try. This is not a good odds. Hey!
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
We could all fit in the little boat.
Actually, no.
What does it say? Does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him while I come back? This is not a problem.
this is a problem. Who watches over him while I come back for you?
What is this farce? Is this a fucking farce? I can't.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Maybe I can just ask that net picker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
The lieutenant shakes his head.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
Below the confusion of age, a fit of jamais vu like yours, the thought passes more pressing matters take its place.
No, listen. Listen now.
Once you could come back for me once we've taken him to the precinct.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
No need to be polite, and I'll do it.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this...
His voice drowns out in a sudden gush of wind.
The wind is cold from the east. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
The Insulindian phasmid. Blink.
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
He looks confused.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you, with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hand move to your holster. to grab the gun.
There is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reed.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers, then takes a step toward the giant arthropod. Okay, let me save, just in case, because there's lots of things I'm going to have to learn how to do.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
No wonder they couldn't catch it in a fucking trap. The thing is gigantic.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
Let's approach it carefully.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soak in your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand your tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The lieutenant watches you apprehensively.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
I'm ill.
What is your illness?
In my heart, for me it's sadness, input after input.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist,
Intruded upon by what?
shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
You're the type of animal I would like to be.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Why do you ask?
Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced the missing antenna.
That's cool.
No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk.
You don't have a foot there now.
Yes. Thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again.
I'm a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
I was born to detect you.
Yes. No one detected me for such a long, long time. For thousands of years. I dithered, out of sight. Trapped myself in greenery.
No, this is just an accident.
No. No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping off blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years.
Where does this come from? All this around us, the world?
Not even the birds know that. Not even a water lily.
Then all we can do is beat our fists against it day after day with no answer.
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandia Isula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys, and went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Samanese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebajou, district of Martinez, March 51.
Is this a dream? What's happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
That's insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile senior nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Wait, the pale's human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Oh dear.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nerve mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget?
I've already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay.
After
Is
assessing
it
the
somehow
tasks.
related to the case?
No, I told you what it's about, our fate.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the most beautiful.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For all mankind.
I will.
She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
It's smelling me.
Maybe it is real. The pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Okay, Kim. Take the picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated.
It doesn't want to not be
In 3.
noticed.
If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker. You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand, a polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky and you a shadow before it.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the kiting curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Look at your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing.
Pull your hand away.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening. Wave by wave from its stupor, some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
Lick your finger.
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
We got it.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes
I want to pet the
detect
stick
motion,
insect.
glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Raise the other hand too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
That's right. No, don't pray to me, I'm nothing.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged from. Tuft-like structures still rustle on its joints. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
It's disengaged slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
And just like that, it's gone.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with his hand raised to his brow. What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
It can walk on water.
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He put his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Okay, what have we got? We've got a helmet and a rifle scope. A common 30mm sniper scope attachable 20 bolt action 4.46 caliber. It uses an older style non-dotted range finding reticle. Seaweed is still stuck on the lens. It suffered water damage from its time in the Phasmid's dowry. Okay. Phasmid's gone. Check up on the deserter now.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the Phasmid?
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring.
Black eyes glazed
Black
open.
eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing. Like an addict of some terrible substance.
Snap your fingers into his nose.
A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
Oh dear.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
Old age and shock, yes.
The appearance of the Phasmid in conjunction with the stress of the arrest. He spent his entire life here. For him to leave would be...
We found some things in the Phasmid's nest, Mr. Joss.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Show him the detached scope.
I lost.
You lost it, Mr. Joss.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie Phasmid.
The lieutenant observes your lens sparkle in your hand.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
Show him the ceramic helmet.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Joss.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The strength is all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Okay. The return. Use the boat to return to mainland. Okay. You don't want him to either get to his senses and leave, or kill himself, or die before we get a chance to help him. Okay.
Soft covers, serialized.
Conceptualization. Right, so I'll get a point in that, because I think I'm basically done with the game now. I would assume we've solved the case, so... It'd be great if I could remember for any reason at all how the fuck we do all this stuff. But I can't remember. Okay. Skill point. Conceptualization. Bong.
Soft covers, serialized, fantastic. Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory. That is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly like reading.
Look, Kim, a book. Left wing. I have no comments, do you?
Ooh, yeah. Looks like our straggler has kept some literature around for a quick ideological fix.
As usual, he does not respond to the political agitation.
The norm. It's the usual with old Kimster. Alright, let's get out of here.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
A white star. Put the star on the label.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Looks old. What's it still doing here?
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
Then what's the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
RCM sounds like RCM, Official Citizens Militia.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics, with blood dripping down your thigh.
ICM sounds like ICP, very close to International Collaboration Police. Nice and normal that way.
That's just a coincidence, officer. The Comil was founded in 32.
Are those spec stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Finish the thought.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Let's return to the mainland.
Let's. We are done here.
He says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
He's waiting for us.
Look what the tide brought him.
Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Wait, you're the man with sunglasses.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
No one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it. Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Forget about all this. There's a giant...
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstrahl. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar. And this is your special task force. Or what's left of it.
He says, gesturing towards his companions.
Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
Yeah, it's suddenly regaining his confidence.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you gotta have my back. Let's destroy him.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
What's this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit, kid. What an interesting Monica.
Trent Hiddleston turns out to be Special Consultant Trent Hiddleston.
Yes, I'm Trant Hiddleston. I never said I wasn't Trant Hiddleston.
What was it with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem.
So what are you special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
What's a shit kid?
You. Shit kid? That's you.
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case.
Despite all I've done.
No. Because of all that you've done.
How'd you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I understand. Okay, Gart, I forgive you. Oh, I understand. Okay, Gart told you.
And people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk.
You're not the man in the sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true, and it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Maybe if you hadn't been so sarcastic, I would have realized I knew you.
I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to batter you up after you told us to fuck off.
Okay, I had that coming.
Had what coming? Not recognizing people you work with every day. Brain damage.
You mentioned a task force.
Yeah. Major Crimes Unit. Under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Question with me, who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Hiddleston, and Guillaume Baby.
He stares at you.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
First, who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde with sunglasses like you were?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing. For both of you.
Okay, so what does the unit do?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry.
He shifts his weight, crosses his arms, looks you in the eye.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
I said all those things? I'm not like that anymore.
Are you sure? So you haven't been telling everyone what a boring cop you are? And that you should kill yourself? People say you've been out of your mind. I asked around.
You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman.
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends.
We're still friends, I just have a stupid head.
Okay. Because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training.
Duped again. No one's who they say they are.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Okay, that does have something to do with it, yes.
No. Everyone's just a brilliant master of disguises.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, hell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Something so sad happened to me I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying. Or insane. Or both.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have.
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the Next World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here.
Just toward the scenery.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Just stand there.
Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
I've got my badge right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge
Shit.
slips out of your hand.
Okay. Let's upgrade it one more. That's all I can do. Let's try and catch it. Haha!
Not today, badge.
The drama's unnecessary. I got the badge all as well.
And your gun?
He asks, and impressed by the piece of plastic in your hand.
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. What is it with all these material objects?
The gun's right here.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I quit drinking forever. It's only me in this boring hole now.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
No idea what you're smelling. I washed death off of me.
The man doesn't reply, but his expression speaks for him. You should have done a better job, is what it's saying.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Glacier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave us a vital clue that led us to the island.
Oh, well. If she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
I also solved the case. It's solved. All of it.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
He says in a lowered voice.
It's so much better if he does this. 1,000,000 times better.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eyes and coughs.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case.
Come on,
What
kid.
is your take?
You trust me?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a true blue moralist, a man of the center, not prone to political outbursts, which is commendable, but also at odds with his behavior. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective.
Thank you.
One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species,
Thank you, sir.
A new species?
a colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Say nothing.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia. He fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
Probably not connected per se, but the perpetrator knew of its existence.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
His tired eyes follow the photo of the lieutenant, puts it away.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Previous head of the Debardiers Union was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little.
Understood, of course.
I would prefer not to partake in anything Union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
The killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
I do.
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fascination. The result of spending all this time in solitude on the islands of this bay. And trauma too. He himself gave a political reason. In his mind, he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
I did all I could, and every second was a struggle. I'm still not completely satisfied with it. It could have just been a little neater.
Get over yourself. You're not a perfectionist. You're a cop and you did a good job, with a lot of help from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. And none of this can hide the smell of booze on the wind.
He put us in his jacket.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. It will pass in time.
There was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How do you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
Thank you.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
Curse turned out to be possibly entroponetical, part of my larger investigation into Martinez itself.
I'm 100% sure it didn't turn out to be that. You know, cut the amateur and troponetic 2mm hole shit. This isn't Paradox B. We're a police force.
Paradox B is a fringe science magazine published in Grad. Its mission is to explain theories like telekinesis and intra-esoleri how before they get out of hand. It doesn't look like the lieutenant wishes you to push this angle further.
Okay, fine. Also, the phasmid is female. The reeds are its nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
He turns to you.
It's interesting time. Forget about the rest.
It gathered items in its nest, a helmet and a scope.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
It could have been male, actually, but I still think it was female.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
I think it reproduces it by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Observation.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense, yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
It had mandibles that looked like hair and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Thank you.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
I'm not going to mention the nightclub and the drug lab. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
He shrugs.
So I have to. Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
A quick nod.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
What? Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but
But before.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
It does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair,
The collection of found sportswear I've amassed.
your love of retro-style dance music, how you're able to perform a 360-degree spin kick.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here.
Oh god, contact Mike.
Of course. Contact Mike.
he's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy.
You said in Coron. I was a gym teacher there.
Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards. Coudon is just east of Jamrod. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
Why did I join the RCM then?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Contact Mike is for a prize of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition, a 5,000 to 1 rank outsider.
Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
It is getting cold out.
When was this? When was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s? You've really let yourself go since then.
Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Some chick. Who?
Dora something. Dora Ingerlund. Yeah, you mentioned her name.
Not Dora Dubois.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Ingerlund really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
Figures.
Extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin. pain, Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Precinct 41. Oh, Lieutenant Kiswadi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflecting the lens of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one,
Work with
but
us.
he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles
says with a
that
smile.
we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He returns a smile. Recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi, Precinct 57's finest.
He's really considering it.
Precinct 41, what kind of station is it?
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Tilts his head northward.
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Corson and McLean.
Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torson and McLean.
An iconic duo, I take it.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
And the Sea Wing is...
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that
And
way.
Price is...
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
What happened? Why did we need to go there?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast.
I work in the bloody murder station.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivashol. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
But Phasmin, I need to tell Lena about this ASAP.
Who is Lena?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock.
A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
She lives at Vikma.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She is going to be over the moon. Watch out or she'll faint.
I'm ready.
Good.
She looks at you then, Vikma.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomac Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the RCM. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Okay. So, this game's really good. I really enjoy it. It's the kind of game that I would probably play once a year or once every couple of years. It's a very word-heavy RPG. I like RPGs, they're my most favourite genre in the world, but I like JRPGs a lot, and I like combat. And the stories in JRPGs are never very good. So you get a game like this that has basically there's no combat at all. It's all just storytelling. It's all just text, and it's very verbose and it's a bit hard to read and enjoy sometimes. But I really enjoy it, and I think this is the sort of thing where if they made another game, I'd play it. I wouldn't play it straight away. I'd probably play it later on. But I think this is really cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And of course, you can play the game in a completely different way if you want to. I went mostly. I tried to go logical and then a bit of everything else. You could just go like pure strength and not bother about intellect at all. I don't know how that would look, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I'd like to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for something just a little bit different all over again. See you then. Goodbye.